Good evening. There are calls for the government to reverse its police cuts. The latest recorded crime figures show increases across all forces in the West Midlands.
The West Midlands Police and Crime Commissioner David Jameson says cutbacks are starting to take their toll. He says officers are now facing even greater pressures because of the threat of terror attacks and cybercrime. Keith Wilkinson reports.
The crimes, often captured on camera, make grim viewing. The statistics behind them make pretty dire reading. Recorded crime in the West Midlands and West Mercia forces is up 11%. Staffordshire has risen 14%. In Warwickshire it's up 19%. The Police and Crime Commissioner for the West Midlands says the figures are a major concern.
Now we're seeing it actually increasing. And I'm concerned, having lost 2,000 uniformed officers in the last 7 years, we're seeing some of the crimes that were going down previously, like burglary and theft of cars. Those crimes are going up. This is really quite a serious situation. And the government now need to stop telling us that crime's going down. It's not. These figures tell us that. And they've actually got to stop cutting our budgets and stop telling us that they're keeping the budgets maintained. They're not.
The government says crime actually fell after police numbers were cut in 2010. But
we hear very clearly a message from the police at all levels that they feel very stretched and very strained at the moment, and we can't be deaf to that because public safety is obviously our number one priority. So we're starting a process of engaging with police forces, force by force, to really understand the pressures on their system so that the Home Secretary and I, in the autumn, can take some decisions based on better evidence than we've got at the moment.
Some of the crime increases could be due to changes in the way forces now record crime.
And this is having a big impact, we think, at the lower level end of violent crime, the less serious end where we're seeing increases in large volumes of violence. Having said that, we are also seeing small volume increases in the more serious end of violent crime, which we don't think is really down to improved recording. We think that probably reflects a genuine increase in the more serious categories of crime, such as homicide and knife crime and gun crime.
Don't see any bobbies on here, the police officer like they used to be.
The government should be doing something about it. Maybe the police need to be given more resources.
Something needs to be done, don't it? I mean, at the end of the day, it's terrible what's happening, and it's on your doorstep. It's like people with stabbings, knives and everything. I mean, what's all that about?
Some of the crimes that they're investigating, like sex crimes, domestic crimes, take more time to investigate than other crimes. So the crimes that need a lot of demand are going up, and we're seeing the funding going down.
Across the country, the crime increase is the biggest in a decade. And with the threat of terror and cyber attacks, some fear it can only get worse. Keith Wilkinson, ITV News.
Well, meanwhile, detectives